people, in today's video we are going back to London 60s, and in this episode we are going to introduce the 60s from three parts. The first part is the fashion, second part the art, and the third part is the music. So when we're talking about 60s, what's in your mind? Do you think about black people's rights? The famous speech, I Have a Dream, given by Martin Luther King, is delivered on 1963. Or are you thinking about women's emancipation? In 1962, they are saying that modern women could have it all. Or maybe you're thinking about the wars, the Vietnam War, the Cuban War, and maybe also the competition between Russia and the United States in technology. The laser is born, the first human heart transplant is carried out, and the Beatles came into the world. The 60s is all about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So now I'm so excited to bring you guys with me going back to the 60s. People said 60 is also made up of young culture. So where did it come from? Before 60s, in London there's a baby boom. And in 60s, those babies growing up into teenagers and young people. The world ended in 60s and the young people have more disposable income. The post-war generation were the first to have money to buy records, new clothes and makeup. That was ideal because there were dozens of new styles being invented every day. Twiggy and Jim Shrimpton were the Kendall Kardashian and Gigi Hadid at that time. In the shooting for Alexandra, we recreated Twiggy's eye look, and also Shrimpton's long bouffant hair look. The fashion in 60s is not always staying the same. There's actually two halves. The first half is called mode style, and the second half is hippie fashion. And the year of the difference starts begin at 1967. Actually, there are two art movements very popular at 1960s. One of them is pop art, the other one is arte povera. Both of the two art movements are related with people's life at 60s when TV advertisement, machine-made products came to people's life. They seem similar, but they are very different. When it came to music, I believe you're not unfamiliar with those bands. Many bands such as The Who, The Rolling Stones, and The Beatles became extremely popular, and they began to set fashion trends as well. Psychedelic rock also grew more popular every day with bands such as Pink Floyd. Culture was at its peak, and art schools developed what we know as the 60s. There's something worthwhile to be mentioned, that is the pirate radio. Because back then, BBC refused to broadcast those rock music. Pirate radio stations like Radio Caroline and Radio Swing in England appeared. Guess what is it? Yes, miniskirt, invented by Mary Quant. Those skirts are so short that when I was wearing them, I think twice before I pick up my belongings on the ground. But it won women's hearts. In 60s, miniskirts were worn with long-tight boots and also in those geometric patterns of two colors, usually black and white. It is affected by an art movement at that time. What's it? Yeah, the pop art. We tried your dress and honestly, they are very new to me, the Swinging London 60s style. So tell us about your inspiration of your new collections.
Hi, so yeah, my new collection, actually my collection season to season, the basics or the core of the brand is strong colours, lots of prints.
Yeah, colours.
Occasionally I have some black with a little bit of highlights.
Yeah.
And I always have different collars every season.
I've noticed that.
So yeah, basically my collection is always around the 60s, and then I will find maybe a print which has given me some inspiration, and I will develop my collection around this. So this collection, as you can see, it's a black and white print which I had on a vintage dress a couple of years ago. As you can see, actually I used some fabric on my home decor for some cushions. So I really wanted to develop this circle print because I think it's quite fun and a lot of people are very interested in it. So instead of doing the black and white, I created the colourful print and then just built the collection around this.
Yeah, the one thing impressed me that during the shooting told me like don't be sexy but be happy.
Yeah, I don't... yeah, I think part of my brand is about it's fun dressing. Every day I don't really have basics. I wear, the collection is, you can wear it from day to night.
Yeah.
And yeah, we don't really do sexy.
Yeah, but to me it's very refreshing. I like the style, and I've heard that in the coming season you've decided to have some movement. So tell us about your new movement.
Yeah, recently I started swing dancing, which I love. Actually, swing started in the 20s, so I feel by day I love to wear 60s, and for swing dancing for the events, sometimes I will dress up more 20s. But the collection for autumn winter is still going to be a little bit around dance. I'll bring some 60s elements with some more movement in the garments, which is for swing dancing.
And the name of your new collection, I heard they have a new name, right?
Yeah, I'm changing my brand name. I think it's developed over the last couple of years, and I finally realised a name which I think is very relevant, and it's called the Rick Rack. So this trim is actually called Rick Rack.
Rick Rack.
Yeah, this is called Rick Rack, and this started in the 60s. I use it a lot actually on different collections, different styles, coats, dresses, skirts. I either, different colours, different materials, use it around the collars. So it's something which is very recognisable from my brand, so I felt actually it's quite fitting with the name.
Yeah, I can tell like from your winter coat and to this summer collection, they are always the Rick Rack, always distinct. And I like your style, and today I want to do a shooting about your style. The first thing that is about culture, bring us back to the London 60s. I think many young people nowadays, they forgot about the golden age, and maybe some people, international people like me from China, so far away from London. But I think it's going to be very interesting for people to know more about the culture behind.
Okay, so yeah, the 1960s was a bit of a fashion revolution, also a cultural revolution. People would come through the 50s, times had been quite hard, people had a bit more money to spend, so basically people wanted to go out and have fun.
Yes.
Maybe they wanted to go dancing, but they needed the clothes to wear. So a lot of people, in fact one iconic person from the 60s is Mary Quant. She's one of my idols. She opened a shop on King's Road in London, and she's a designer, and she loves the miniskirt. She created the miniskirt, like very mod miniskirt. So yeah, she's very successful. She created her own prints, lots of shift dresses on King's Road, and basically she was very iconic during this period because everyone was flocking to her to buy product. Yeah.
So I have noted that here in Shanghai, the young girls these days, they are wearing similar dresses, and I like your style because they just pop out from the flow. So here we really wish Alex's new collections, the Rick Rack, is going to leading a new trend here.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.